going on, people? Welcome to United View. It is time for Manchester United versus Burnley. The preview. We're here at sunny, cold Turf Moor. Look at this, beautiful. The groundsmen are just getting the pitch ready for tomorrow's game. There's not going to be any snow or anything like that, so the game is not going to be getting called off. But this is a big game for Man United. We've got a good record here at Turf Moor. I'll definitely say that, and we're trying to become the team to get 6 consecutive victories here at Turf Moor. And one thing you always know about playing against Burnley, regardless of the form that they're in, regardless of where they are on the table, is you can expect a hell of a tough game. I mean, even at Old Trafford, it was a bit of a weird game earlier in the season, that 3-1 win. I think Sean Dyche said after the game that they actually didn't play that badly, and it's true. It was a weird game. The second half kind of petered out. We were good in the first sort of 15-20 minutes, and then we took the game away from Burnley from there, and then the game kind of went flat, and we was traditionally how Man United have been this season, which is playing in patches. But today presents a different challenge. Look, we saw what happened against Middlesbrough, and we was obviously all gutted about that, and Ralph spoke about it in a press conference that he was happy in terms of us controlling the game pretty much for most of it and creating the amount of chances that we had, over 20 shots in the box, but obviously we weren't clinical enough. And this is a similar story, and I'm not saying that Burnley are the same standard as Middlesbrough, because they're not, but it's a similar story in terms of if you come here and you're not up for the fight, you don't earn the right to play, you're going to have a difficult afternoon. And if you come here and you're on top and you don't score, there's always that chance that Burnley can get a set piece or an aerial cross, something from the wide areas, a run in behind from one of the strikers. Now they've been playing Cornet and Vaithort up front. And it's always a difficult game. And when your confidence is a little bit down, like it has been after the last game against Middlesbrough, this is a tough game. In terms of us, Ralph was talking about, he was very, very happy with Varane, my guy, the Rolls Royce. You know, he's been doing his thing. He's been very, very good. And luckily, he is available for selection tomorrow. It's not like a case of he was injured against Middlesbrough. It's just more of a management thing. He was getting a bit of cramp and stuff like that. And Maguire needs to step it up next to him as well. I thought those two were actually quite good. But as the game went on and then the game went away from us, Maguire become worse, and then Phil Jones entered the fray, and it kind of went downhill from there. But you're expecting that. We do know obviously about Fred and Alex Telles testing positive for COVID, so they're not going to be involved. And that was going to be one of my conundrums actually in terms of midfield. You know what it's like against Burnley, big physical side. You need to be at it, especially in the centre of the park, and you need that height in there. We went with Matic and I want to say McTominay. Yeah, we did, because he scored one and pretty much set one up for Ronaldo. We went with Matic and McTominay for the home game of this a few weeks back. And I was thinking, who out of Pogba, Fred, McTominay, etc. is going to miss out? And I thought Pogba, for large parts against Middlesbrough, was really good for his first game back in what was it, 3 months? So I'm expecting it now to be McTominay and Pogba. I think he'd go with that same two again. Does he bring Matic in for the height aspect of it? I don't know. I think we should be looking to move past that. I think Pogba's 6 foot plus, McTominay's 6 foot plus. You've got Maguire, you've got Varane in there, so that should be a strong enough spine. You've got Ronaldo in there as well to get back and help at set pieces. I don't think we should be coming to Burnley and saying we're going to play Matic just for height. I don't think we should do that. I think Paul Pogba's fine to be playing in this game alongside McTominay. But we do know, in terms of the balance and intensity that Ralph wants in there, he likes McTominay and Fred. He does, with the energy, but one of them's got to miss out. And I thought it probably would have been Fred, even if he was fit, to be honest with you, like it was midweek, even though he was late back from Brazil. So I do understand that. And up front, look, Ronaldo, I was doing some work with Sky yesterday, well, depending on when you're watching this video, but it was today as we're recording it, and they're saying that he's gone on his longest run of scoring in his career, and it's 4 games. Longest run. That's how good he is. That's how prolific he is. It's his longest scoring drought in his whole career, right? And it's only 4 games. And they were saying, is it the beginning of the end, etc., etc. But actually, he is on a little bit of a drought by his high standards. He needs another big game, especially after missing such big chances against Middlesbrough. We need to make sure we get that ball down, get playing, and give him chances. And the wide area as well. I want to see Jadon Sancho back in there again. You know that a lot of threat from Burnley comes from wide areas, and they work extremely hard in closing people down, stopping crosses, getting in their own box, as well as making sure that that's their strength, and they get the ball wide quickly and look to feed their strikers as well. So our wingers, whoever it may be, whether he goes with the same again with Rashford and Sancho, or whether he drops Rashford and brings Elanga back in and puts maybe Sancho on the right, I'm not so sure. But whoever plays there, they've got to be at it. They really, really do. And we have to be winning our battles, first and second balls. Every time you come here, and just play against Burnley in general, but especially here, if you're not winning first headers and you give them confidence and you show that you're not at it, you're in for a long, long evening. If we turn up and play to the best of our ability, there's no reason why we shouldn't win the game. And now we're out of the FA Cup and almost certainly not going to win the Champions League. It's back to the league form. I mean, we were saying in the fan views after the Middlesbrough game how disappointed we were and that the season's basically over and we shouldn't be shouting for top 4. And look, essentially, if we get top 4 by the end of the season, you'll have to say thank God for that at least. But that shouldn't be the best part of a Manchester United season. But it is back to business now. We are out of the FA Cup. We can't do anything about that. It's done. It's gone. We are out of the Carabao Cup in the first round. It's done. It's gone. And we're almost certainly not going to win the Champions League. So we've got to finish as high as possible in the Premier League. We've got 2 games in hand on Chelsea. You know, why not try and suck them into this top 4 race? And it starts back again here today. But the problem is that we always say with Man United, we ain't got a clue what Man United is going to show up. We just don't. You don't know how they're going to show up. Are we going to be that Manchester United that in the first half of Villa was so commanding? In the first half against Burnley, we was good. In the first half against Middlesbrough, we were good. In the second half against Brentford, we were good. Or are we going to be the other Man United where in the first half against Brentford, we could have been 2 or 3-0 down? You know, against Wolves, pretty much the whole game we were poor. Are we going to be that team? You know, are we going to be the Man United of the last sort of half an hour against Middlesbrough, which was slow, lethargic, passing sideways? You look at the last 15 minutes at Aston Villa, last 20 minutes at Aston Villa, should I say, 2-0 up, cruising. Are we going to be that Man United? It's literally the roll of a dice. But I tell you what, if you give these lot a sniff with the way Sean Dyche sets up his side, you're going to be asking for it. And you've got to think about it. They're fighting for their lives. You know, Burnley have stayed in this league for 6 consecutive seasons, which is a fantastic return considering the resources that's available to them, the types of players that they get, and the amount of funds they have. It's a fantastic situation for them to be in. But they're fighting for their lives. They've got games in hand out of the bottom 3, and they want to get out of it. There's no easy games in this league. We saw that. Well, look at when we played against Norwich, scraped by a Ronaldo penalty. Luckily, skin of our teeth, had David De Gea to thank for it. Played against a struggling Newcastle before they even got these players that they have got in January. Come up short with a draw. So our record of playing against teams fighting relegation, played Watford earlier in the season, got spanked 4-1, albeit before the new manager came in. But these are just facts. When we've played against teams down the lower end of the table, we've massively, massively struggled. That's why you can't take these games as a given, and these players need to show up and show the right mentality and the right attitude from the off. And if we don't win tomorrow, I mean, look, when I was really annoyed against Middlesbrough, given the post-match stuff, I was saying I can envisage a draw. I could see us coming here on a Tuesday night. It's cold, it's wet, it's horrible. 6'6" Weghorst up front. I think, have I pronounced that right? Weghorst, 6'6" Weghorst up front. Cornet up front, you know, running at us. Typical Man United, rock up and encourage Burnley. Give Burnley that kickstart they need to try and stay in the league. These are the sorts of things that are characteristic of us in this moment, and that's what we can't allow to happen. It was the same against Brentford, to be fair. You know, we were going there saying, look, they were in bad form, struggling for confidence, and in that first half, it was like we didn't know what hit us. It was like we hadn't prepared for the game. So I know it. You guys at home know it. Ralph's spoken about it in a press conference, what type of game this is going to be and how we've prepared and what we've been working on. But will we see that from the off? Will we see a performance to match all of the talk and the hype around the game? And so far this season, there's been a lot of lackluster performances and performances that have left us, left us wanting, to be honest with you. So look, I am looking forward to it. I want to thank Burnley as well. They've been absolutely fantastic to us. And as you can see here, when you're up here in this stand, you can see, you know, all of the scenery behind. This is the main stand here at Turf Moor. And we're going to be in the press box as well. And we're going to have a perfect view of everything tactically as well. And we're going to take a little bit of a more in-depth look behind the scenes here at Turf Moor as well. And actually, I'll just be honest, I like to be refreshing with you guys. We've shot these videos. We don't know what order it is. So you may have already seen behind the scenes in Burnley, and now this is the preview for the game. Or vice versa. You may be watching this as the preview today. And tomorrow, there you go, is another little surprise for you. You're going to see behind the scenes. That's just how I roll. Sometimes I know what I'm doing, sometimes I don't. But I just want to keep giving you guys that A1 content. Get out there, get out and about. We can all do stuff, from home, and we enjoy that. That's one part of what we do. But you guys know me, and what I'm in love with is being out there and making relationships and doing stuff like this. So, yeah, big shout out to everyone here at Burnley and at Turf Moor. Man United, please don't ruin this. Please don't ruin this. Honestly, just turn up, do what you're supposed to do. And win the game. Smash a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know what your predicted 11 is going to be actually as well. Who would you start in this game? Now that Fred's out, you know, are there some people there who were saying, actually, I would put Matic in for the height with McTominay? I don't think there'll be a lot of people saying that, but, you know, would you put Cavani in? Would you give Ronaldo a rest? Would you do that? We've seen Ralph rest him before, or take him off early before. Would you do that? Would you drop Marcus Rashford? Would you bring in Anthony Elanga and shift Jadon Sancho to the right? Would you bring in Aaron Wan-Bissaka for Diogo Dalot? Let me know what you guys are thinking at home. Smash like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Peace.